There we go. All right. All right. So I'm here for a nice little coding stream. We're gonna be working on this new mod called Truth or Dare. It's the idea behind the mod is that every now and then you get to pick Truth or Dare, and a dare is obviously something that you need to do within a certain time frame, and a truth would be for a certain time some property is true, right? Mobs drop double loot, mobs take half damage, those kind of things, right? And so um I got this set up on yes, it was Wednesday, Tuesday, right? On Tuesday, I got some of it set up here, basically just a base infrastructure that I'll be building off of for this stream. I just wanted to have like the workspace basically set up. That was the main thing, and I guess a bit of it up and running. A lot of this is going to be very similar to Chaos Edition. Not in terms of like the actual truths or dares, but in terms of how the truth or dares are applied and all that other stuff. Right? The way it's stored and the way it is handled and all that other stuff. It's all going to be done the same way. So this is going to be the base root interface of a truth or dare, and then we're going to have a truth interface and a dare interface that are going to extend this. This is basically all the stuff that's in common to both of them. And then there'll be specific truth related stuff, maybe, but there's definitely going to be specific dare related stuff. So the last thing I did was I did this. I also have a really cool thing that I really hope works. I have a needs initialization interface. This is a problem I was running into in Chaos Edition, where like everything I did, I needed to then go to the mod initial like the mod initialization method and initialize it there and all that other stuff. I'd much rather just have an annotation that I can do to mark it as needing initialization. This is very similar to the way DDD loads stuff, where it checks for a specific annotation and it checks for a specific initializer method, and then it will invoke that. And so, however, that used Forge's annotation scanning system, which worked obviously, but I don't really have access to that here. And so what we have is I have a new dependency called class graph. Yeah, I guess class graph is the dependency here. And it just allows me to scan the packages for Yeelp.truthordare packages, right? And then it's going to get all these need initialization classes, like the classes that have that annotation, and then we're going to have initialize. I have broken this up between scanning and initializing, just in case there's something that I need to do in between both of these. Currently, there is nothing, right? Currently, it's just scan the project and initialize, but if there's something I need to make sure I do in between, right, that isn't necessarily initializing something, I would just want to leave that option available. So I've broken it up like that. And this allows me to extend it to like in case I want other meta annotations that I can use for loading stuff. And all this does is it's kind of not super great. It doesn't do it the same way DDD does it, but it still kind of works. Basically, it's going to check to see if it can initialize, because some things might need other things declared first before they can be initialized. And if so, then it's going to try and load that. But in order to prevent a loading deadlock, I kind of do a little bit of a count, depending on how many dependencies there are and whether, we've previously loaded something or not. I might need to redo this code if it doesn't work, right? But right now I don't really care. Right now it's probably fine. So this is how it's gonna load and initialize things, probably. So we have this, which I haven't used. So now what I actually want is I want a truth or dare effect state, right? And that's going to also be in the model here. And this is actually going to implement iterable on I truth or dare. Can we implement the interface? Yeah, dude, implement everything. Oh wait, no, that's the only thing it actually needs to implement is the iterator, which we will get to later. And this basically works the exact same way as Chaos Edition, even down to the variable names, because I don't want to call it like active truths or dares, because that's just, let's call it active effects, right? From this point onwards, a truth or dare shall be known as an effect. I should make my mod config first, actually. Holy shit. That just occurred to me. All right, duplicate this tab. I have Chaos Edition source code open on GitHub in a separate window because yeah, that'll be useful. But I do want a mod config thing here. And so we'll drop that in here. And this will be final. I don't think I want to implement anything. That doesn't really make sense. So this can be a singleton instance. Actually, this could be mod_const.modID plus .json. All right, so that's gonna be the path. I wonder if I could. It's fine. It works. And then we're gonna use JSON as well to read it. Give me a new JSON builder. Set field naming policy. Field naming policy dot identity dot set pretty printing. I believe that's it. No, there's a whole load of shit. Set pretty printing dot exclude fields with modifiers. Modifier dot private dot create. So that's our JSON. That's gonna be our little reader there. Fancy stuff. And now we're gonna have public static class. I guess I can also make this final. I see no reason to not make this final. Why would I ever not extend this? Or why would I ever extend this? Right, and so then this is going to be public final int so they'll get, the initial grace period will be maybe 5 minutes. Maybe not. Maybe I want 3 minutes. So it's going to be 3,600. And there'll be some other things that I will add here. Now, I don't know if I can put this under needs initialization or not. I probably, since I probably want this fully loaded before I do anything, this is gonna be like one of the things that I like specifically choose to initialize beforehand. Because otherwise everything would be kind of reliant on the config having loaded first, or at least a lot of things would, so I might just choose to have that load first. Fabric loader dot get instance dot get config directory dot resolve, and we'll resolve our path here. And then if files dot exists for our path, and that means we can try to read it. New file reader path dot to file. JSON dot from JSON. Reader mod config dot class. Is there a way to ignore comments? Include fields without exposed annotation. Serialized null. And there's a couple things here. Okay, these are type adapters. I don't care about that. This might be a little tricky. Because I need... Because there wouldn't be any comments there. So I either have to read or write it on my own, or I have to do something else. Which is probably going to be writing my own type adapters. This is a way. Would it even read though? I mean, I guess I will try using JSON. I could try using other libraries, I suppose, but and I could do a custom type adapter, but if I did a custom type adapter, I'd need to do a custom type adapter for like everything, and that's really annoying, right? Because like this is a type adapter where it shows how you write each thing, and it's just like, I guess that's not true. I could wrap a type adapter that writes a specific comment and then writes using the thing that it has. I suppose that's an option. Let's try using that, because I think I'll like that a little bit better than like manually editing things, so let's... Right, and so I just need to implement that, right? And then we have... Right, so we got this, so then all we gotta do to write... So this is the comment I want to write. I also have to see how it chooses to use it. Because like when it does this, it gets an adapter for the type of this. I believe there's a bunch of type adapters here. So it begins an object and then oh, okay, yeah. Think I see what I gotta do. Can't this just be a record? I don't think I can make this final, right? Yeah, because it's already final. So now I don't need to wrap it. And now I need to implement the other methods here. I know that in order to write it, I guess I can do I guess I can try and just write the value. This is no longer relevant. And then what do you have here? Am I writing? Yeah, I'm writing. Okay, yeah. Whoa. Blah, 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 blah. Know what I'm doing. I want to write the comment. Can I get a type adapter for... think I want something like that, and then I want a constructor. This, which is going to take I write that. And now I read and I check. Using the exact same thing I did here, I think. Maybe? Or we do this. Dot read, or I guess it's next null, I think. In dot next null return null. Oh. And now this will be a comment, so I guess. I'm not fully sure how a lot of this works. I'm gonna definitely need to test a lot of this, but this is in theory so that it works. And then what? I want to return this dot. The comment's not the first one, right? It's the option first, so it should be this dot wrapped adapter dot read. And then I guess this dot original comment. Maybe. I don't know. Alright, and that's literally the whole idea. And then I have to do basically the same thing here. Oops. Oh, if it doesn't exist. Then we're going to create it. We'll deal with that later. Oops. And then we pass in the parent. I'm going to put this here, and it's going to go here, and then the message is going to go here, and then that's going to go like that, and then it's going to explode. Good. So now before I write it, I need to JSON dot from JSON, or to JSON instance, right? And then this is a string, right? And I do raw dot repl. It would help if I finish spelling string correctly. Replace all, and we want to replace commented config option type adapter dot comment with just a double slash. However, actually, I need to do more than that because it's going to do a whole thing, right? It's gonna write it's gonna write this and then this, and then it's gonna do the original comment, and then it's gonna have that. Or actually, it's going to be comment, right? It's probably gonna be comment. I don't know. I don't know what it writes. So we're not gonna worry about that right now. We're going to, yeah. I feel like that's the same thing. Yeah, okay. So now I have all of this. I have all of this. This will be accessed through the game options. And we'll figure out how to use that later. And then, of course, I do need a singleton get instance. Actually, yeah, I guess so. I guess that's good. What am I working on? I am working on a brand new mod with hopefully a more cool config reading system. It works similar to Chaos Edition. All right, so let me explain the whole thing. There's like 5 million different things going on here. Is this all public? It is. This should be public as well, so this is accessible. All right. Does it need to? Can it? Should it be? No. Public final. Yeah. Boop 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 boop. That's accessible. And then this is accessible. Okay, so this has like a bunch of things. That's never used, that's fine. That's never used, that's fine. That's never used, which we'll deal with. This constructor is never used because class is never used, so that's fine. That's never used, we're dealing with that. That's never used, we're dealing with that. That's never used, we're dealing with that. Yeah, okay, so what is this? This is a mod that I am writing called Truth or Dare. It's a very simple premise. Bread of Loaf, which is a YouTuber who actually has done multiple playthroughs of Chaos Edition, actually suggested this idea, and I thought it was a pretty interesting idea, so I thought I'd explore it. And the premise is every now and then you get a prompt of Truth or Dare. If you pick Dare, you are given a task that you must complete, and if you fail to complete it within a certain time, there is some consequence TM. We'll get to that. There's no specification on exactly what the consequence is. Obviously, obviously what makes sense for the consequence is you die, but maybe we can do something a little bit more interesting than just that to make things a little more spicy. And then if you pick truth, there is some statement that then becomes true for a certain duration, i.e. you pick truth, and then it says, all right, all mobs within 30 feet of you take half damage for, 2 minutes. Boom. Truth. Everything takes half damage for 2 minutes, right? And so then the whole point of it is that, and then once that truth or dare expires, you're given a new prompt. So you'll always have either a truth or a dare active. You will never have any grace period between them, except at the beginning. So the whole point is to just have to balance these truth or dares to whether or not you want a truth or whether or not you want a dare. Now, you're like, why would you ever pick dare? Right? Why would you ever pick dare? Why would you not just pick truth all the time? Because truth doesn't sound that bad, right? But dare sounds fucking horrible. Well, that's the thing. If anyone has actually played Truth or Dare, you know that the whole point of Truth or Dare is to make the truths so exposing, so debilitating in this context. Well, in the context of Truth or Dare, you want the truth, i.e., the question you ask the person, to be so exposing and so personal that they would rather pick Dare. That's the whole idea of Truth or Dare. Otherwise, it's just pointless. So, the main idea is to make the truths in this. Pam dragging me off to work. No worries, no worries. I'm gonna still finish my explanation. The main idea is to make the truths here so debilitating to the point where the player would rather run the dare instead. Right? So we're gonna have to come up with truths that are crippling. Right? And this stop. Why you stop? I don't know why you stopped, but whatever. So anyway, I wanted to set a customizable initial grace period, which is the whole reason we went on that massive ass tangent for about an hour. So I could go here. right? And then I guess this is going to be right. So now we go back to the player chaos effect state, or not the player chaos effect state. This is going to be the player truth or dare effect state. Um, do I need a Boolean to track that? No, because I'm just going to be tracking the grace period separately. So I'll just know if the grace period is 0, then we're fine. And we'll just start with that. Player truth or dare effect state. Boom. And we're going to set this dot grace period to mod, nope, wrong one. Mod config dot get instance dot game dot initial grace period dot option. That's what we do here. That's how we use this. Now when we go here, a lot of this is gone, right? The main thing is there's a couple of things. I also need to go here, and again, this is why I wanted to have a bit of a gap here. I wanted to scan the project for those meta initialization annotations first. Then I want to load the config because I probably want the config full loaded before I initialize anything, because maybe it might depend on a couple of config options. Probably not, but I'd rather have the config loaded first. All right, that's something I'd rather load first straight up. Because there might be some things that will require the config to be loaded, and then I have to have everything fucking loaded. Right? And let's just... Oh, no, thank you. All right. This is for other stuff. We'll get to that. Right? And now it just says that this isn't used, so I don't know. I need to figure out how this is supposed to be used and stuff, and this is not it. All right. Because I don't think it's gonna write this. It's not gonna use this fundamentally. Which is fine. We'll deal with that. I might not need the type adapter. I might just have the record. Oh, but the record's gonna be... config's gonna be a giant fucking mess. It's gonna look like dog shit. Whatever. We'll deal with that. We will deal with that in a moment. It's not that big of a deal right now. Right now I want to focus not on the config stuff. I want to deal with that later. I want to actually focus on like the you know, get the foundation down, right? Unfortunately, there's no like documentation for the type adapter that I could like reference, which is annoying, but you know, whatever. There should be a constructor. Player truth or dare effect state MBT compound. There should be a constructor that uses this. We'll get to this. This is going to be a to-do. Implement after from NBT is done. Or wait, is this not the from NBT? Oh, okay, to NBT. Write NBT. Because I want to know how I'm writing it first before I try and read it. Right? So that's going to be a thing. So then, after we have that, Maybe I can write this part a little bit better too. So this is gonna be the truth or dare dot apply to the player. And this dot active effects dot put truth or dare dot get name and then the truth or dare itself. It doesn't seem to care too much. And I'm just going to do a lot of the same methods that I did for Chaos Edition here. Which is going to be like, is truth or dare active? Now, there is something for the registry entry. Is this nested class? It's not a nested. Nested. Okay, fine. I'm cool. Is this in model? I mean, this we can put this in model. I need the registry entry. I think that would make a lot of sense. I liked the way that that was done in Chaos Edition. That part was decent. So we're gonna do that. Truth or dare registry entry. Welcome back. So we're gonna take a look at this. I don't think it. So it has a generator. Anyway, the more or less the whole idea of this is to make the truths. Just to briefly re-explain here, I want to make when I eventually get around to designing the truths, I want the truths to be debilitating in order to incentivize the player to want to pick the dares. There is already an incentive to pick the truths. Lamau. There's already an incentive to pick the truths. The incentive to pick the truths is to not pick the dares. So now there needs to be an incentive to pick the dares, and that needs to be to not pick the truths, which means the truths have to be something you want to avoid. Which means some of them can be good, but most of them have to be bad. No worry. Twitch Amazon. Look, it was just poor timing. I truth or dare. So that incentive is going to be the generator. That's French for generator. I don't know if I need the separate name, but I probably don't. Because getting that stuff is just going to be going through the instance. Yeah, so I think I just need this, and I just need the private final I truth or dare instance. Welcome back. They're not going to be repeating, and they're not going to be optional ones, I don't think. So I just need the generator. It's going to be much simpler. This can be final too. Ba-da-ba-da. Truth or dare registry entry. Oh, it sounds like a cool idea. It does sound like a pretty It sounds like a pretty interesting idea. That's why I'm exploring it. And the great part about it is that Holy shit. The great part about it is that the base foundation of how this works, how it chooses truths or dares, and how it keeps track of truths or dares is exactly the same as Chaos Edition. So I have the Chaos Edition source code open in another window, and a lot of it is just being straight copied over with some alterations. It'd be great if maybe I had a library that kind of handled a lot of this specific stuff, but like I didn't realize that I was going to be going that deep when I was making Chaos Edition, so I don't have a generic library to keep track of things and apply things randomly and all that other stuff. But the way it applies is very similar to Chaos Edition, so I'm basically copying that, right? I'm copying my own homework, but I'm going to change it so the teacher doesn't catch me. This is going to be generator.get. Right? And so now gotta love the low effort homework, right? Really, really do appreciate it. Instance.getName.equals truth or dare dot getName. Boom. That's how we'll check to see if they are the same. And this is going to return this dot instance dot applicable for player. What will the balance of easy slash hard to simple slash difficult? So this is the interesting thing. I'm gonna have difficulty options. Difficulty option number 1 is easy mode, where you actually get to see the truths or dares, like what they are description-wise, before you pick them. So you'll get a prompt, it'll say truth or dare, and then it'll be truth, and it explains the truth, dare, it explains the dare, and then you pick the one you want, right? Normal mode is you pick truth or dare, and you don't know what you're getting until you pick it, right? So now the truths that are good are not auto picks, and the dares that are, super simple are not auto picks either, because you don't know if you're going to get them, right? And that's going to be the normal mode. There might be a truths only mode or a dares only mode where you can only pick truths or you can only pick dares. And there might be a double dare mode where you get 2 dares at the same time. There's a lot of interesting space to explore with that. In terms of difficulty, it's not going to be as bullshit as Chaos Edition because it's a lot more controlled, and you only have to really, unless you're doing like the double dare mode, you only really have to deal with one thing at a time, either one truth or one dare, right? Which means the truths or dares can be a lot more complex and a lot more challenging, but you'll only ever have to deal with one. So I don't think it's going to be as hard as Chaos Edition. Right, so we got this registry entry. What do you where am I missing the return statement? Oh. No, this is not a boolean, this is void. What are you doing? Alright, so now that we have this little thing, I can go here. This checks. This checks if the effect is active. Truth or dare registry entry. And here I do this dot active effects dot. I need to return that. Return this dot active effects dot contains key entry dot. Yeah, I do need a get name here. Wait, this is a boolean? No, this is a void. Why am I making, what am I doing? Like, I failed to exist for a moment. I'm not returning anything. What am I doing? Dude, I'm like I'm not here, dude. I'm somewhere else. I'm not present. All right, so now this is how we're gonna write to NBT. The compound, and then we're gonna have a root, which is gonna be another. No, I don't need a root. I just need this. Code has taken another loss to the computer's sweet language. Yeah, basically. Wait, no, I do need a. I do need a root. Equals new MBT compound. Ba-bing. So now I need a grace period key and need an effects key. Thank you for the hydrate. That's what's doing me in. The fucking heat. That's what always does me in. I'm gonna do it like that. So now what I want to do is for each effect, I want to write it to NBT. Right? And we're going to do it by putting that into that. Yeah, so this dot active effects dot for each this is basically working the exact same way. Where I'm going to do tag dot put, and the key is going to be S, and the value is going to be E dot write to NBT. The fuck is your problem? No, put, just put, just put it there. Don't put anything special, just put it. Thank you. And then I do root.put like this. And then we're gonna put the effects key, and then we're gonna put tag, and I'm gonna do root.put grace period key. This now this is a put in. Okay, fine, be like that. And then I'm actually gonna return root, right? Because this is everything's stored in this. This is put in this. This is put in this, and then I give this back. Good. And then we need a couple of other things. We're gonna have a simple helper method here. Has grace period expired, which is going to return this dot grace period less than equals 0. Pick grace period. And I don't need a lot of that stuff. So now I'm going to implement the iterator. And then this is going to return this dot active effects dot iterator dot values dot iterator, yeah. And that's going to allow me to iterate over that. Again, I'm likely not going to need to because there's pretty much only ever going to be one. But if we ever do the double dare, now we can track 2. So chances are iterating over this is only going to ever have the one thing. But now I have that option available to me. And then I do want a toString. I could generate via wizard? Nah, fuck that. And then for I truth or dare DOD in this, immediately using this iterable that we just created, I never need to check for an instance of, because everything will always have a remaining duration. So it's going to be sb.append string dot format. We're going to have this tuple where we're going to have this, and then it's going to be 2d.getName, and then it's going to be 2d.duration remaining. Holy shit, are you okay? And then we're going to return string.format grace period %d, and then we're going to do %s. And it's going to be this dot grace period, and then SB. Boom. There we go. That is the truth or dare effect state. Now, all of this, now we do have this to do here, right? Boom. Implement after the right MBT. We literally just did the right MBT. The right MBT is down here. And so in order to read this, I'm going to do this dot grace period equals MBT dot get int grace period key dot, I guess it's that dot or else. Oh wait, I should get it, and then if it exists. Yeah. Because I've already set it, so there's no need. Option, help me. Import that. Owen. If Owen dot is present, I need to do it here. We're gonna do this dot grace period dot, or yeah, this dot grace period equals Owen dot get. What do you mean? I can do that? I didn't know that. I thought it would. I thought it wouldn't like the side effects, but I guess it's okay with that. So then, fucking slap that shit in here. Boom. Put that there. Fuck this. Ba-bing. Now, I think what I can do is I can also do MBT dot get compound for effects key, and if that's present, I guess I want to call this root, because this is now the root. No, it's not the root. This is the tag. So now I do this dot effects or active effects. Wait, hello, bless ya. Tag dot get keys dot for each one. Yeah, because I can't iterate over it like a map, right? Because I don't think there's a standard for each here. I can. Whoa! It does. Thank you for the follow, Conroy and Co. Is that correct? Thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a great day, and glad to have you here. Now, buy consumer, where I can do this and the truth or dare and the element. Yes, it is. All right, awesome. How you doing today? Right. So this would have. Right. So now what I can do, I can actually just do this dot active effects dot put that in s, and then I put that in, and then I need to read it from MBT. Oh, I need a whole registry, dude. I don't have a registry. All right, truth or dare registry. Let's go. All right. Copying this over from Chaos Edition is relatively simple. It doesn't seem that crazy, but we'll see how helpful this actually ends up being. Okay, so this is going to be, I need a map here of string to truth or dare registry entries, and this is going to be the entry registry, creative name. Maps.new hash map. Put that there. Now, I don't know why this is not a set, but it's a list. We're gonna let that be. And then I do want a new random. That'll be useful for other stuff later. We're gonna, and then for register on the truth or dare registry entry, there we go. To register this bad boy right here, we will do entry registry. We'll put the entry's name and the entry itself. We'll then register the callbacks if needed. We'll add the effect names, entry.getName. And then there is some other stuff there that I don't need to worry about because none of that matters. What did I call this? Register. Hello. Is effect registered? This is gonna be is truth or dare registered? Ruth. Yes, is Ruth or dare registered? Regis. I need help. Okay. And then we have this, and then this is going to do whoa. Return effect names dot contains the name. Or we could also do effect registry, entry registry, whoops, dot contains key for the name. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference, but I like doing it that way. All right, now public static I truth or dare, get truth or dare. Return entry registry dot get name dot create truth or dare. Now, if this does not exist, it will throw a problem, but that is fine. It'll create a null pointer there, but that very rarely should happen. And then we also want to get registry entry or get entry. Truth or dare registry entry, get entry. Entry registry dot get name. Boom. This can be get entry. And then we can also do get entry from the I truth or dare itself, which I don't think I need to do, but we'll see. Return get entry for the truth or dare dot get name. Don't need that. Getting a random effect. We're gonna deal with that a little bit later. Okay? Because there's going to be stuff that I want to add here. I want to have a separate thing to track the dares and a separate thing to track the truths, right? So that if I want to get a random truth, I can just pull that. I don't have to like worry about, having dares mixed in, yada yada. Create truth or dare from NBT. And this is going to be this, and then NBT compound. And what I want to do here is I want to check to see if is truth or dare registered under this name. If it is, we're just going to return get truth or dare. Oh, well. Oh, if the effect is not registered, we're gonna throw here, I think. Yeah. Throw new illegal argument exception. Name does not refer to an existing, I can spell, truth or dare. So now I truth or dare equals get truth or dare under that name. And then I just need Todd.read from NBT, passing that NBT. And then I return it. To registry.values.stream. And yeah, import that. All right. And that's all we're gonna do right now because that's good enough. This is currently not used, but again, we'll get to that. There's a lot of stuff that we'll need to get to, right? Whole point is now we have a registry. And because I have a registry, I can now continue on my journey over here to do truth or dare registry dot create truth or dare from NBT, passing in this and the element, which I guess I need to cast to NBT. Need to cast like that, which should be fine. I don't see that being a problem. And then this dot grace period is going to be what? Oh wait, no, I just did that, right? So I don't need that here because I've already iterated over all of that. So I don't even need that either. We can one line this bad boy, which is kind of sick if you really think about it. This that grace period, I already did that. I literally already did that. What am I doing? All right, cool. Boom. So now that I have this register, this truth or dare effect state, using this truth or dare effect state, I can now create a server state that will track the individual player states as a persistent state in order to, track all the truths or dares that are currently active and, save that and all that nonsense. And then we can start working on how do we dole out truths or dares, which is like another thing entirely, which we're not gonna worry about that. Like right now. I do want to create a server state. And so this will be final. And this needs to extend, I believe it's like a fabric class called persistent state. No, it's a base Minecraft class. Good for me. I know what I'm talking about. Truth or dare effect state. So now we have a map that'll map the player unique identifier to their specific state that they have. And then we will also need private static final. We're gonna need a codex to encode all this stuff. Oops, server state, excuse me. And this is going to be nbt compound.codex.comap flat map. What the fuck are we doing here? Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna do the same thing here. This just seems like a bunch of boilerplate anyway, so. Data results dot success, and the result's gonna be server state dot create from NBT, which yes, doesn't exist, and then server state write NBT, which yes, also doesn't exist, but don't worry about it. I assume that this needs an additional paren. Does it? No, it doesn't. Yeah, because the comap flat map needs two functions, to and from. Gotcha. Okay, so it sounds like having the read and write is probably going to be pretty important, but we're not even done yet. I need one more thing here, just a little bit more boilerplate. Persistent state type. Server state, the type. New persistent state type. And this can be mod const mod ID. Server state new codex. Is that not expected fragments? Oh, I need one more. Oh, data fix types. Yeah, okay. Data fix types dot level. All right, so now we have all of this nonsense. Let's do that. Let's do that right NBT. Blah, blah, blah. Right, because now this thing is happy that that exists. Okay, so yeah, let's do MBT compound. This is the tag. We'll create a new one. Holy moly. For each UUID and the truth or dare, or it's the player truth or dare effect state. PTODZ. That's the technical term. UUID.toString and then PTODZs. Dot right to NVT. Huh, PTODZs is a typo. Really? I had no idea. Say that to the dictionary. Yeah, I put like way too many prints there. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Return tag. That's how we write to NBT. Now we want to create from NBT. Public static server state, create from NBT. I believe that is something that, yeah, see, that's right there. NBT compound tag, ba-boom. And now that's gonna be happy, awesome. So we're gonna do server state. We're gonna create it here. And then tag.getKeys.for each. And for each key, why am I doing that? No. Tag.for each. For each ring, and I guess it's gonna be another like an MBT element, right? Which we will correctly cast. all I want to do here is do state.players.put, putting in uuid.fromString, and then new player truth or dare effect state, casting this to MBT compound, and throwing that bad boy in there. That cast is perfectly safe. The great thing is that this is actually a lot simpler than the Chaos Edition one. The Chaos Edition had a couple of other things that need to track. This doesn't. That's the great part about it. I don't know if I need this get effect state. Where is this used? It is used. We will need to define an API in a bit. We're not there yet. Player TOD effect state. Get effect state. Return this.players.compute if absent, UUID, and this is gonna go to, yeah, and then I need new thing. There we go. And this, I'm gonna actually annotate with non-null. This is strictly non-null, so we don't need to worry about that. Non-null. That should be a thing. Wait, do I not have a thing for that? Can I do not null? You know what? Fuck it. I don't feel like annotating it. Don't have that, don't have that. And now we need one more thing, which is the public static server state. We actually need to be able to get the server state from a Minecraft server. Hence, server state. So we're going to do objects.required non-null for the server.getWorld. World.overworld, because we'll store it relative to the overworld. Get persistent state manager, get or create, and we pass in that type that we defined up here. And then this will get us our server state. Right? Because this t extends persistent state, get or create, and then it gets a persistent state type parameterized by this, so this is how we're going to be getting this. And then that's going to pass all that back up, and then we're good. We have our server state right here. So we have our server state to track the state of all the players. We have the state of the players that we are going to be tracking. We have the root hierarchy of our truth or dare type, and we have our truth or dare registry. There's one more thing I want to set up very quickly, because this should be actually, no, I want to set that up. Do I want to set that up separately? I'm not too sure. I guess maybe. Actually, no, it does make sense to do it like that. Truths and dares. So this is just a simple class that'll track everything. We're gonna have a static block. This is gonna be our initializer block for everything that we do. Now this class initializer is empty, so it doesn't really matter right now, but that's not a big deal because obviously we're gonna be getting to that. And now we're going to have a public static void register effects. And this is probably the first class that I will annotate with @initialization. This doesn't need any initialization because it's all static. So like this is fine. This can also be final as well. There's no reason why it can't be. So this is the first class that's going to straight up need initialization. And according to this should be static, right? Yeah, because it needs a static method. That's what we want. And this is going to be anti with @initializer. And then here we're going to have initialization. Holy moly. Oh, this needs name equals. There we go. And then it will initialize this. And then to do that, we're going to do for field f in truths and dares dot class dot get fields if the modifier dot is static for f dot get modifiers. Can we import this, please? Yeah, that'd be great. If it's static, we will try f dot get. We'll get the object in the field. And then if this object is an instance of if it's an instance of our registry entry, then provided that it's not registered. Oh, and then, yeah, I want to instance cast it like this. And then I want to do TOD registry dot register that entry. Otherwise, I think I want to explode. Is that what I do? Yeah. Throw new unsupported operation exception. Tried to register a truth or dare with the same name as another one. And now at the bottom of this try block, I need to catch, I think it's, okay, illegal argument exception, and then I guess a legal access exception. And we're going to throw new runtime exception. Unable to register truths and dares. Check the log. Pass in that. And then we're gonna have a little helper method down here. The dare registry. Whoa, staic. Create registry entry. Truth or dare. New truth or dare registry entry with the generator. It's just a helper method so that I don't have to type new blah blah blah. I can just do create registry entry when I'm creating them. That's illegal. Basically, that's what this is, right? This is that's illegal. You done fucked. Right, so now hopefully my annotation scanner will scan this, detect this, and then it'll call this method, and by doing that, it will load the class. My annotation scanner does load the class. It loads the classes. Which means we'll get through that static initialization block of creating everything, and then we'll go and we'll call that thingy-majigger. I think I do want to add a little something here as well. Find first dot, is this method? Yeah, dot filter method is static. Why? What do you mean I can't check if it's static? All right, I can check if it's static, but I gotta do like this. Modifier dot is static m dot get modifiers. So basically, if we're going to get the method annotated with the initializer.class, we're going to get the first one, which means you're only allowed to have one per class, because I can't see why I would need more than one. That seems a little weird. And then we're going to make sure that it's static so that our invocation is valid, because we can only invoke this way if the method is static. The object can be null. If the underlying method is static, then the specified object argument is ignored. It may be null, right? So like that's what we want there. So we want to verify that it's static by just doing this, and then if that's not it, we want to throw a no such element exception, saying that it's marked with needs initialization. Oh wait, that's incorrect. Exists, or the method is not static. There we go. Bada boom, bada bing. Excuse me. So now we have all of these goodies. Thing number one is, can we build it? Thing number two is, can we run it now? I think that's what I want to do. I want to check to see if all this stuff works now. Before we go deep into doing this, let's get all this nonsense working, because now all it is a matter of creating the truths or the dares and the register and then registering them, and then also I can do the tick thing where we do that. I can probably do that. I think it's gonna be a mixin, right? Because I need a player tick mixin majigger. Player mixin. That's not it. Yes, it is. A player tick callback. Do I want to do that right now? Or do I want to make sure that everything works so far? I think I want to make sure that everything works so far that it can compile and that it can run. And then, because I will also need to make sure 100% that this is here. Right? Like I got to make sure that that works. Because it's probably going to say that, like, I don't have that. I don't know. We're gonna see. Either way, we're gonna see. We're going to just do a simple build. Does it build? That's question number one. Question number two, inspect the built file to see if this is added. Because I want to bundle it. I need to bundle it. I don't even know, like, how large this is. Also, I should 100% look at this to see what the use license is. Class graph. All right, what's your license? MIT license. Permission is hereby granted free of charge to any person obtaining a copy of this software and association documentation files the software to deal with the software without restriction, including without limitation to without limitations the rights to use, copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute, sublicense, and/or sell copies of the software, and to permit persons to whom the software is furnished to do so, subject to the following conditions. The above copyright notice and this permission notice shall be included in all copies and substantial portions of the software. The software is provided as is without warranty of any kind. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so it's MIT. I can use it. That's the point that matters. So now that that's the point that matters, the next important thing is to go to this folder. Go down to here, go into here, go into here, go into here, and then here. Now this is 25 KB. I don't know what the repository size here but I can't imagine it being like that big, right? You're not even gonna tell me how big it is. All right, whatever. We're going to, I'm going to right-click this correctly, and then we're going to open this. And I'm going to see what's included. That's the manifest, truth or dare, right? So this has... This is everything I created, but it does not have the library. The library is not included. Which leads me to believe that if I run it, it's just not going to, because it's going to be like, hey, I asked you, I can't find this thing you're looking for. I'm going to probably get a no class def found exception. If I had the hazard guess, I'm going to get a no class def exception probably right like here, because it can't find class graph. Probably. It did build, so there's nothing wrong with that. I assume this should explode. Once the class actually, once this class loads, which it will do right at the beginning, I suspect I'm gonna get,
Press enter to enable the narrator.
No. That worked? Huh? Because it has it here, but I need to make sure that I bundle the thing. Okay, I can probably look this up pretty quickly. Gradle bundle dependencies in jar. Yeah, that's sort of what I want. Using the shadow plugin. Yeah, shadow it. Yeah, okay. I can do this. Plugins. I have this, right? I now need com.github.johnriegelman. Did I spell that right? Rengelman, excuse me. .shadow. Version. I mean 8.1.1. I can't remember the version that DDD uses. Let's go check the version that DDD uses. And in fact, we're gonna copy the exact same thing it does. And I suspect that will probably work just fine. The version we have here is 7.0.0. Okay, so that's a thing. On the GitHub shadow, right? Yeah, and then I do that here, and then the script's written a little differently, but it's fine. And then I guess it creates a shadow jar configuration. Oh, so I have to do, yeah, I have to do the thin one, I have to do not thin one. Okay, so there's a shadow jar implementation, and then I need to specify what I'm shadowing. Ah, gotcha. So the mix-in stuff is already shadowed via Fabric, so I don't need to care. But I will change this from implementation to shadow. That seems right. I don't need to worry about anything else here. And then I do need a shadow jar, which I want to put that under Java. So we're gonna put it right under jar, actually. No, under Java, but above jar. Shadow jar. And then configurations equals project.configurations.shadow. Merge service files. I don't think there's anything I need to exclude from this because it is MIT, so I should include the license. Unless I wish to change the license. Can I rename it? Well, you know what? Let's just leave this like this, and then we're gonna do archive classifier dot set like this, right? And then I will need a to reobfuscate. I think probably this seems right. I'm kind of just doing the same shit, so we'll see if that actually does anything at all. So the jar has from license rename. But that renamed the whole thing, didn't it? It renamed my license? Is that what it is? I don't have a license. I do have a license file. I'm fucking crazy. Never mind. Ignore me, please. Oh no, but it doesn't. No, there is no license. Or maybe that's just in the sources. Nope. I don't fucking know. Whatever, dude. It doesn't matter. And then I guess this is going to be the archive classifier dot set thin. Classifier dot set thin. Thing. Yeah, no, thin. And I can do build dot depends on shadow jar jar dot finalized by reob jar. And I don't need to sign it because it doesn't care about that. That's a forge thing. So I think I can do that. Am I missing something here? Reob does the shadow jar. I have the shadow jar. The Java does have with sources jar. The compile Java does whatever. Yeah, this, which is whatever that is, not really a big deal. There's a process resources, which inputs the properties. And then that mixins its own thing, and then we shadow. This shadows that, so I've shadowed that in. And then the repositories have done that. I don't think I need that. No, because that's different. This is for retrieving artifacts. Right, and then we have this, and then we have all this nonsense. So this is Rengelmen.shadow. Okay. Let's try a build. Let's see if it explodes. We've downloaded the shadow, and then hopefully this will shadow it right in, and then this means that I don't need to worry about it. And then I can have my annotation scanner, which is kind of sick. I kind of fucking want that. It's like really fucking cool, and it saves me a lot of time to. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Not find method reob. Am I crazy? Is it not right here? Reob is under the shadow jar. Which it is, but it should be. If I method reob for arguments on root. Reob jar is finalized by that. Couldn't find method reob, which it should. I'm pretty sure it still wants to. Yeah, I couldn't. Okay, resync it. What do you mean you couldn't find the method for it? Okay, what the fuck is going on here? Something's incorrect. Huh. Right. Why, though? I find method reop for argument. Reobf, which is what I have. Well, that depends on Shadow Jar. Jar.finalized by reop jar. And did I not apply the plugin? Is the plugin not applied? I'm pretty sure it is. Do I need to re-up? I probably do. So, like, that probably doesn't work, but we'll see. Couldn't find method re-up. Okay, what if we just don't have this at all? Whoops. I mean, but wait, what's going on here? Comment this out. Cut this out. Build. Not add meta inf to zip. There's a dare dash 1.0.jar. What do you mean? No such property mode for class. Also solution 5ch mod. No such property mode for class. What the fuck is this? What if I put this back in? Cannot find method re-up. Okay, what if we just get rid of that and then we do this? Welcome back. Yeah, I get it. You're trying to re-import it. Alright, you know what, whatever. I don't give a shit what you're doing. Just do this. I'm gonna be banging my head at a wall for 9 fucking years. Password's name, Reop jar not found. Uh-huh. I don't know why this doesn't work. That's the shadow jar, but I want the build to depend on the shadow jar. If I get rid of this, and then I build, no such property mode for class. What does this mean? What does this mean? What did I do wrong, dude? How did I manage to explode like 5 different things at once? No such property mode. What? What? I'm gonna get rid of this. Motherfucker. Caused by missing property exception, no such property mode for class, blah blah blah. Possible solutions, file name size, chmod. You know what I'm gonna do? This is probably not a great idea, but we're gonna drop down to version 7.0.0. The idea being that this works, so I don't know. And just build it. It's fine. Just ignore it. It's fine. Just do it. It's okay. Why do you hate this? An exception occurred applying plugin request. Failed to apply plugin class. Could not get unknown property convention for root project. What is this? Huh? I am so confused. Somehow that drastically changed everything. Failed to apply plugin class. Could not get unknown property for root convention. What do you mean I need a convention? I didn't need a convention for this thing. This makes no goddamn sense. Right, and I do this, and then this'll work, but then it will get pissed. What? I think that was just for re-importing. Yeah. And now there's a missing property exception. No such property mode for class this. So this feels like this is not a me problem. What the fuck, dude? Oh. My shadow jar configuration block has like fucking nothing. Nothing. That's literally what I did. I did the archive classifier. That's set. Unless I spelt classifier wrong. No, I spelled it right. What version of Gradle am I using? Oh, I might be using too new a version of Gradle. You gotta be fucking kidding me. What the shit, bro? I'm so mad. What's the... you're gonna be fucking kidding me. Oh, yeah, okay, this is it. There's version 9.6.0. Wow. I'm sorry. What release do I have? I have 8 point whatever the fuck. 8.1.1. Which, release candidate 3. Dude, I'm like way fucking back here in like 5 million years ago. Okay. I'm like here. This was released 2 years ago. No shit. What version of Gradle? It doesn't fucking matter what version of Gradle DDD is using. All I know is that this version's a bunch of fucking baloney. Alright, get me 9.6.0. Wait, actually, min Gradle requirement. My Gradle is this is not it. I need it here in the wrapper properties. I'm Gradle 9.5. So that probably explains a lot. Let's do 9.5.0. Fuck it. There's a version that's slightly newer I can use. You suck balls. 9.6. Oh, build it. Do it. Not found in any of the following sources. What the fuck do you mean? Okay, but 8.1.1 exists? 8.1.1 exists? I don't understand this. I do like 9.0.0. Are they like too new? You know what? Let's go back to the beginning. It should show me how to do this user guide. Oh, it's different, dude. It's different. As of 8.3, yeah, my Gradle version might be like way too new because the minimum Gradle version for 8.1.1 is 8.0, and I'm running 9.5. And then starting at 8.3 plus, the plugin ID changed from github.johnringelman.shadow to com.gradelup.shadow. Holy shit. Yeah, let's run the 9.0.0 because the minimum, actually no, we're gonna do 9.3. Because at that point, we require Gradle 9.0 as the minimum version, and the minimum Java version is 17. What Java version are we running? Holy shit, trying to conglomerate all this shit is... We have to be running at least Java 17, because we have access to records. Records is a Java 17 thing. My build Gradle should specify what version. Yeah, we're targeting Java 21, dude. We're fine. Build. Do it. Become one! Please. I beg of thee. Hell yes. Oh my god. Huh. So, I have some news. Ah, shit, dude. This is really unfortunate. No. You bundled like every fucking thing on the planet. I didn't want you to do that. Holy shit, you bundled like way too much. You bundled way too much! I bundled the entirety of the Minecraft source code in my jar. What the fuck? This is wrong. This is incorrect. Where I can't even find. You just shadowed absolutely fucking everything. Okay, user guide. How the fuck do I use this? Configuration. Yeah, do it. Unless you're supposed to be anywhere else, but I don't think so. Brother. You know what? I need to see. Dude, I shadowed just this. I shadowed just that. Unless you're telling me that that itself requires everything. Hold on. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Also, it didn't make my fucking this. So that's also fucked, but you know, we're deal with that later. Okay, so if I look at this, what's bundled in with this? I have just a mix and stuff. This manifest.mf has like 5 million fucking things. It has. Following attribute. If desired to merge manifest and other types. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that just configures that manifest. Okay, but see, like this includes everything else that is necessary. Including the mix and extras license, which is actually really interesting. It doesn't have the license of this. No, don't open that. Whatever the fuck you just did, don't do that. Right, okay, so why have I bundled like 90 kilobytes worth of data? Or sorry, not 90 kilobytes, like 90,000 kilobytes worth of data in here. What the fuck went so wrong? Oh, lordy lord. I shadowed just the one thing, dude. I shadowed just this, just this. Alright, I'm adding the other things here, maybe. I don't know, dude. Fucking... Who the hell cares? Build the jar finalized by reob jar. And then we'll have that. I don't need to sign that there. And then I want a reob task, which I'll put under here. Reob, which is going to be shadow jar. Shadow jar. This is how DDD does it. It's not gonna fucking work. It's gonna fucking self-explode or whatever. See? Boom. Completely exploded. Why did you... options, I don't care about that. Configuration. Overview. The shadow jar task type extends from Gradle's jar type. This means that all attributes and methods available on jar are also available on shadow jar. Okay. To the same default values as Gradle does for all jar tasks. Additionally, configures archive classifier. Yeah. Okay, cool. Configuring the runtime class path. Okay. Each Java jar file contains a manifest file that provides metadata. When using a shadowed jar file as an executable jar, it is assumed that all necessary runtime classes are contained within the jar itself. There may be situations where the desire is to not bundle select dependencies into the shadowed jar file, but they are still required for runtime execution. In these scenarios, Shadow creates a shadow configuration to declare these dependencies. Dependencies added to the shadow configuration are not bundled into the output jar. Think of configurations.shadow as unmerged runtime dependencies. The integration with the Maven publish plugin will automatically configure dependencies added to the configurations.shadow as runtime scope dependencies in the resulting POM file. Yeah, whatever. Additionally, Shadow automatically configures the manifest of the Shadow jar task to contain a class path entry in the jar manifest. The value of the class path entry is the name of the dependencies resolved in the Shadow configuration for the project. I just said a whole bunch of fucking words. I have no idea. The Shadow jar manifest. Yeah, I don't want to configure adding extra files. Is a subclass of jar, which means the jar.from method can be used to add extra files. Copy copy foo file into bar in the shadow jar. It's useful if you want to contribute to release setting manifest. Yeah. This is not helpful. What do you mean? What do you mean? Wait. Additionally, it configures the archive classifier to be built to be all listed once or not full. Each Java jar file contains a manifest file that does blah blah blah. Declare these dependencies. Dependencies added to the shadow configuration are not bundled into the output jar. Wait a second. What if I did the same thing that I did before, where I grab these and I do this, and then in the shadow jar, I do this. And will I need to re-obfuscate? I mean, yes, but like, what do you mean you can't find the method for re-obfuscation? I wish I knew more of what I was doing. Well, this depends. I have no idea if, like, you give a shit, but whatever. Just run it. Build.successful. I don't feel like that's correct. Okay, it now has only created a 589 kilobyte file, which I appreciate, instead of a 98,000 kilobyte file. Yeah, and now it just has the class graph stuff. And it has included the class graph license. Holy shit. I think we're getting somewhere now. But the question is that it hasn't done this. And it sets the archive classifier, but doesn't actually, this is not getting, like, done. Right? If I run the jar task, that has done nothing. I still want the other archive classifier. I still want this because I want to make sure that this is running, but like it's not. What if I do jar.finalize by shadow jar? Because all reob does is call shadow jar. So I assume that if I do this, it'll do that. Does this make sense? Now if I build, it's not doing. Delete that, rebuild it from the ground up. What's in these sources? That's what I want to know. Okay, it's just a truth or dare source. That's important. And that has that, but it's not creating my other thing. Create my other thing. I think the main thing I really needed was the merge service files. I mean, is this adding anything? Because this is supposed to be like from license to like thing, right? Which it's not doing. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Let me just check to see that like this is. Yeah, so you have the same thing. Let me look at you. Let me look at your build. Open this with WinRAR. It does include a Chaos Edition license in it. Actually, let me check that once more. I just want to double check everything. It has that. Okay, cool. Then, just want to make sure that everything's being done correctly, dude. I gotta make sure, dude. Gotta make sure. Open with WinRAR. This has the class graph license. This does have a license. I don't even think that DDD includes its own license. It's kind of weird. Should definitely probably should, but you know, whatever. We'll deal with that. What's in the thin? Let me just check what's in the thin. What's in the thin is this. Oh wait, I think that's all in the manifest. No, because it just has this, which is all of that stuff. Okay, that's the thin, but what about the not thin? It has the mix and extras license. It doesn't have the DDD license in it. That's probably something that should be done. Huh. Okay, so then. Dude, I'm so fucking confused. I am heckin' confused. Let me look at this Chaos Edition thing one more time. It has a license, but it's not a .text file. Why is this a .text file? Rename. Don't make it a .text file. Just make it like this. It still has the same stuff, but now it's correct. Okay. Now what I want to know, I can't believe this, dude. I want to know why this is not working correctly. I also definitely need to debug out some stuff in the annotation scanner to make sure that it's actually running it. But what I want to know is why it's not bundling my license. Bundle my license! I have it bundled here. Should I just do it here? Do I even need this jar task anymore? Dude, what is life? Man, I hate Gradle. Uh... I mean, it included it, I guess. Fucking, I don't know, man. Alright, sure. But you don't create my thin one. Maybe I don't need it. Alright, I don't know, dude. Whatever. It's fucking just like do your own thing. It doesn't matter. I guess. I don't know. I publish manually because I am a fucking loser. I'm a loser who publishes manually. I should really get on not doing that. Needless to say, this is productive coding session. I fucking banged my finger. Ow. Anyway, a good shit. Got that done. Annotation scanner now. Oh, wait, if I can't... If the config isn't loaded at this point... I can't debug out. Right? I can't debug out because, well, I mean, I guess the debug just has debug log prefix. It doesn't even have a fucking check for it at all. And then so debug needs to have all right, we got that, and now I can go to here. This is created actually at the very beginning, which is important. I was smart being like that. Oh wait, that's created at the beginning. But the config should be, am I gonna have some weird circular dependency problem? No, I'm not. I just can never use the debug options here. I can only use fatal and stuff, right? So that makes sense. Now I could, right? Because this is no, because then everything would depend on having the logger initialized first, right? So like obviously you just do the logger first. I don't want to have everything depending on the logger doing. Do this first. The config, I think I want to also do immediately after. I mean, yeah, because then I want to look at this, right? And then in the annotation scanner, and I do info. Interesting. What the fuck does this thing even extend? Does this extend like stream or some shit? Mappable info list. Info dot. I can do size because this thing extends a mappable info list, which extends info list, which extends potentially unmodifiable list, which extends array list. Wow, that's hilarious. So we've got list shenanigans. So info.size is valid here. There's a be gone. Okay. Now I can debug the classes that need initialization, and now I can also debug, which class is being initialized. I do it here. And now with debug enabled, I can actually see if we do that. And we can info at this point. Whether their initialization is going to be complete at this point. So now I should be able to run the client. Now what it's going to do is it's going to create that config option for me. So I'm going to have to actually go, I believe, into the run directory, I thought, maybe. Probably not. Where? Where? Run configuration. Where are you even located? Hello? Can I? Can I help you? Where should their build reports problem? Okay, yeah, no, that's different. Oh, is it under build? No. Caches, whatever. Okay, yeah, where? ClassPath entries, reference missing files. Build classes, Java client. Build classes, Java client, blah, blah, blah. Well, at the very least, what I can do is that if I run this, regardless of what debug is, I should see this message. The truth or dare initialization complete. If I don't see that, then it's not initializing. Like, the whole thing isn't fucking running. Loading 4 mods. It's not even loading my mod. Huh? That makes no fucking sense. Go back here. I said go back here. Interesting. It's not even loading my mod. What is wrong with my run configuration? Edit. Cache. Uh-huh. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go here, we're gonna go under here, and the run configurations for this one. We're gonna take a look at it, and we're gonna see what makes it different. We're gonna actually edit it. Yeah, whatever the fuck is going on here, nope, nope. Gradle Loom Cache. Oh, okay. Gradle Loom Cache launch.cfg. Aha, now we might be getting somewhere. Class path groups, game jar path. Alright, so now I want to look at the fucking thing. Why do I gotta be doing this, dude? This is a bunch of baloney. That's all I gotta say. There is a lot more here. Assets. So this part is the same. Client properties is not even a thing I fucking have. Fabric.gamejarpath.client. Blah 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 blah. Okay, sure. I have fabric development true. Log4j configuration files right there. I'm just gonna look up true intermediary. I don't have this, but I can probably leave that. I have remap class path file, which is remap class path.txt, which contains 5 billion different things. Yeah, okay. And then the stable ANSI, and then we have game jar path and class path groups. I'm gonna just get rid of that. And then these client properties, I'm gonna get rid of that. And then we're gonna run it. And it still didn't find it. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Configure launch. Fuck it. Configure client launch. Just done anything. Run client. It, dude, still can't fucking find it. Why the hell are you talking about? Alright, what if this is really dumb though. I hate this. But for the sake of checking to see if it fucking works. What if I go to the build folder, I take this, I copy it, I put it in the run folder under the mods right here, and then we rerun it. It still can't find it. What the hell are you talking about? Should you not be... Should you not be... I'm sorry, should you not be running it? Return. Gotta love family shenanigans. Fair enough. It's not even there. What the? Where are my mods being loaded from? What the hell? You know what? I might be able to figure that out. Maybe, I don't know, dude. Resource packs. Open the pack folder. Where are you? You're in run. Oh wow, you're in run, where I just fucking deposited the mod to be loaded. Uh-huh. ClassPass entries reference missing files. Build classes Java client. The game may not load properly. What do you mean? Build. Alright, let's fucking see what they're talking about. Build classes Java client. There is no client folder. Isn't that the whole fucking point? Because I don't fucking need a client folder right now? Oh my fucking god, you're kidding me. I don't care right now. I want you to shoot me. Don't split this. It's fucking stupid. Don't do that either. It's also fucking stupid. Going to slap you. The ID modules below removed by the Gradle project sync. Good. I'm going to slap you. Run the damn client. It didn't complain about missing things, it still did not load my fucking mod. What is your major malfunction? I don't understand. I literally have it in there. I'm gonna go to the libs folder. I'm gonna. Do I even want to copy it again? Hello? Yeah, I fucking did that. Maybe there's other things that are wrong. I want to run idea sync task. Which I don't fucking have. I'm gonna slap someone. But it's not gonna find it. It doesn't fucking find it. I don't understand so much, dude. Go to the Fabric documentation. You can find launch profiles. There should be client and server profile. Open classes. Yeah, I know. Actually, can I delete the run configurations? Edit. Module not specified. Okay, can this just be deleted? Delete it. Delete the whole configuration. You didn't delete the configuration. It's right here. Can you delete this whole folder? Please? Delete it. Delete it. So now if I do configure client launch, doesn't actually do anything here. If I do configure launch, doesn't do anything there. If I do run client, it ran the client? How? There's no fucking configuration. There is no configuration upon which to do that. Clean this. Has files open. Oh, because I have some shit open. True. Clean it. There we go. Okay. So I have completely cleaned everything. Right. Okay. So one would think that, I don't know, that it might decide to start working at some point, which would be kind of dope and very appreciated. Are you okay? I think my brain is just broken into 9 different pieces. I don't understand. Where is this? Where did these even come up from? I don't know. Can I... What if I rebuild it? Will you recreate everything I need? Will you recreate my run configurations? Will you do anything interesting at all? See, it says that it should have this, but it doesn't. Anymore, because... Yeah. Holy shit, dude. I don't understand. I'm not fucking opening a CurseForge profile just to get this to run. I don't know why it can't run. And find my fucking mod, dude. I understand. I don't understand. It didn't complain about anything. It's just there were no mods to load. Why? Oh, do you think that could be this? Cradle Project. Thank you for the redeem. I get that the whole thing is... No, see, it doesn't make any sense now. Got enough points to provide breaks, this is true. This is correct. I don't really understand. I can rock an entire stream and still have a healthy budget. I mean, there's a cooldown for it, right? So there's that, right? Okay, I need to regenerate my run client configuration. Navigate to task. That's worse. That gives me time to build budget, but it means you can't derail an entire stream. That's literally the whole point. I don't have a fabric loom thing, brother. What the fuck? No, I have too many points. I think I need to come up with a couple of other things for the point redemption. Probably. Task fabric loom. Double click the Gen idea workspace, but I literally don't have that. You know what? Fucking fine. I'll do it myself. Gen idea workspace. It probably explodes because I can't find that. What? Huh? Do I not have a Gradle wrapper here? I don't have a Gradle wrapper here. What the fuck? What in the shit is wrong with you? Do I copy this shit over? No, but... No... Now what? What the fuck is this, dude? I'm... Why do I have to fucking transplant this shit? Goddamn wizard didn't work. Fuck this bullshit. Slap this shit in here. Get your ass in here. Look at this. Didn't even have this in the other time. That was what. Giddy up. Holy shit. Riddle wrapper main. Really? Really? Do I need... But I have the fucking Gradle wrapper ship right here. And then this has everything else. It has the Gradle.properties, this. It has the build.gradle. This is not the right fucking folder. That explains a lot. It has a class path file, it has a .project file, but I don't know, I think that's like leftovers from Eclipse. Oh, I need that Gradle wrapper jar. But, like, it's not gonna be the right fucking thing. Right? It's gonna be upset because the Gradle wrapper here, this is not gonna be the right version. Yeah. It requires JVM 17 or later. Oh, my build is currently configured to use JVM 8. What the fuck are you talking about? Fucking version, brother. Fucking version this shit. I am running JDK 8. Holy shit balls. Wow, you really want to be the most annoying piece of shit ever. Holy fucking shit, dude. Now I have to go change my... Oh my god, I'm gonna kill someone. I'm going to kill someone. Hurry up. Oh my lord. I type ENVIR and it doesn't even know what I'm looking for. Doesn't want to know that I'm looking for goddamn environment variables. Holy shit. Have it point to that. Okay. Good. You want to try this shit again. I now need to exit. I now need to open it again. I now need to redirect. I now need to, you know, navigate back to where we were before. It will now attempt to do something. And hopefully that involves generating fucking thing. No, could not resolve all artifacts for configuration class path. Couldn't resolve this, required by that. Dependency requires Java this build use. I'm gonna fucking kill someone. Incorrect Java version. Get me the fucking environment variables, dude. Go and buy... Oh, fuck, I can't spell environment variables. Holy shit. I am on full fucking tilt. This, actually, wait, no. Get the fucking Java 25. I don't give a shit. Boom, boom. Okay, good shit. Leave this open, because God knows I'm gonna need it again next time this thing fucking explodes. Holy shit. Gen IDEO workspace, please do something. A restricted method in java.lang.system has been called. I don't give a shit. Just, please, build failed. What's problem? The task Gen IDEO workspace is not found in the root project. It's just like it doesn't fucking have it. Wow. My build Gradle is not missing the Fabric Loom plugin. I got that shit right here. So that entire thing was a waste of time. Waste of time. Absolute waste of time. Reload all Gradle projects button. Yeah, but see, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't have the run client configuration. This is a... Huh? edit this. It runs this. Okay, where the fuck is this? It runs run client. Yeah, no shit. Cradle project. That. Okay, I mean, what? Right, so if I modify this run configuration, it's literally the same fucking thing? Fucking clean it again, please. Just fucking eat everything. Eat and delete everything. This is so stupid. I can't believe this. Okay. I gotta figure this shit out because I don't know why it's not working. And, I'm gonna go do that. But I don't want to sit here forever browsing a bunch of shit on like full tilt. So I'm gonna just wrap the stream here. Um, hopefully next time I'll have more of I'll have more shit like correctly done or whatever the hell. I don't know. So that'll be it for me. Thanks for watching. I will be back Monday with the usual. So I'll check y'all later. Peace out.